There's your blood, scream and fight, tiger flies at the lights. Every night you don't fight, vivid sight, vivid sights, baby Joe and an escapade. Fancy arcade, pixelated party, lesson day unafraid. Karaoke screams, singing themes, heart and sleeves. Anime dreams, bursting seams, city gleams, dancing screams, endless streams, less extreme, Saturday gleams, so it's day gleams, so it seems nothing rings. Rate the channel, riot loud, crowd unbowed, techno sound, pulses pound, dream astound, youth unbound, joy profound, lost and found. Channel raver on the prowl, echoes howled.
Good morning and welcome, broadcasting live from Site B, located in the mythical town of Fresno, Nevada, which does not in fact exist. It is I, the OG GM, your second favorite Scrooge. Happy New Year. It is Saturday. It is RPG Saturday Shoutout number 100. I have done this for 100 Saturdays in a row, possibly more, but we definitely confirmed that 100 of these. So since it is the 100th attempt of me to do this little experiment, I thought instead of going forward, we'd go backwards to the very beginning to take a look at the individual channels and people that inspired me to do this. 90% of it is positive, but there are a few negative ones on there that also inspired me to do this. Now, if you're the first, a comment already. Wow. How is Fresno, Nevada this early morning? It is sunny and warm at the moment. We're looking for 67 to 70 degrees this Saturday. So if you remember, way back when, this product was inspired to spread some positivity and shout out smaller channels on the YouTube. Now we're 100 in. Has it helped? I don't know. Don't worry, Death's Angel, you're on the list. But there's definitely, I think it's helped. Hopefully it's helped. I know I've made some new friends and subs because of this experiment, and I hope that I've helped people grow their channels and spread some positivity, because when I started this, I was seeing a lot of people who were just making video after video, including myself, unfortunately, just saying negative things about other players, other DMs, other games. There's people that I insulted in the beginning that I wish I hadn't. Michio's girlfriend, whose name I can't remember, a couple others. And obviously there's some very negative people out there who've made their whole YouTube thing to just spread hate. And, you know, we will mentioning a certain Canadian carrying eating piece of shit. But still, we want to shout out the positivity. So we got to start where the beginning, okay? I mean, before we get to my Mount Rushmore, not really Mount Rushmore, whatever you want to call it, gotta call out, Mouse. This idea came from Mouse. I was sitting at Site A, listening to Iron Mouse, and she did something called a raid, where she visited a smaller Twitch tuber with her and her thousands of followers and basically just raided this person, constantly commenting, saying nice things about him, giving him subs, giving him gift subs, and just exploded that dude. And all because Mouse did a raid to just spread some positivity. And that's what gave me the idea originally. So gotta shout out Iron Mouse, the OG. Her constant positivity on the YouTube and the Twitch is why I did that. So love you, Mouse. Thank you. You know, my bucket list is to play Minecraft with Iron Mouse someday. I know it'll never happen, but so you are my inspiration, Iron Mouse. You're the reason why I started this. Thank you very much. Now, another person we got to shout out before we move forward is, of course, my number one employee, Jeff's Game Box. Please give this man a sub. He has 140 subs. He's made 66 videos. This guy deserves 1,000, if not more, every day, consistently for 2 years now. This man has gone out of his way to be my friend for no reason whatsoever. Just reached out to me out of the blue, and consistently provides me with 2 to 5 subs. 2 to 5 links every week. Just, a constant source of positivity for me, a constant source of get out of bed and do this every day, because this guy's is doing all this work for me. So please, if you have a second of time, head on over to Jeff's Games Box on YouTube and give him a subscribe. He deserves all the love and support, because he takes time out of his day to send me subs. So thank you, Jeff, #1 employee of Seth's Gear and Ammo, for all the free things. The goblins appreciate you. All right, so now we got to get to the people who don't have YouTube channels who inspired me. Robert McAllister, my very first subscriber when I started this 10 some odd years ago, and Matthew Bromund, attorney at law, who was the person to give me the idea, who said during one game, you should make videos about gaming because you know so much about it. And, and then my mom was like, yeah, you know more about this hobby than anybody else. You can make some videos about it. Turns out, no, that's not true. There are plenty of people who know more about this hobby than I do. So, but they're not on YouTube. So shout out to Matthew Broman and shout out to Robert McAllister for being my very first subscriber. Aaron Cornelius, Jackson Sardoff, another person whose friendship I lost. I wish I hadn't, and a couple other people who just sort of inspired me to start this. And then, of course, with Iron Mouse inspiring me to start this Saturday thing. Okay, so my Mount Rushmore consists of four individuals plus Iron Mouse. To do this weekly thing, not just ViewTubing, but this weekly attempt to spread positivity. So 2 of them are gaming related and the other 2 are not gaming related, plus Mouse. So #1, gaming related, reason why I do this every Saturday, person who gave me the most gaming related inspiration is Hank over at Runehammer. I've been a fan of Hank's forever. This idea of doing the dungeon tubing, Hank was definitely one of the people who's at the beginning I followed, and just the idea of just word of mouth, nonstop, no script, no editing, just a guy talking about gaming. Hank was one of the first. Hank has responded to me anytime I texted him or emailed him, which wasn't very many, but I have, and he responded. He gave me advice. He talked with journaling about me. He's just a down-home guy, he's just a guy sitting in his house, drinking a beer and talking about game design. And there's so many things that I have learned from Hank about VTubing and gaming and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely he is on my Mount Rushmore of inspirations. Thank you, Hank. My other gaming related inspiration was a guy who sadly hasn't posted in a while. Hopefully he is well. That's Aaron the Pendentic. Aaron the Pendentic, I meant gaming wise a couple years ago. And if you remember from Site A, my goal was to have one more sub than Aaron. So if he hit 100, I was like, I got to hit 101 and beat Aaron. When he hit 1,000, I was like, I got to get 1,001 and beat Aaron. And when he hit 2,000, I was like, okay, all I need is 2,001 subs, and I beat Aaron. So I had this joking competition with him, and but yeah, he was a great guy, and he was one of the first individuals who I was watching on YouTube talking about gaming, who was for the most part positive. He never really had anything bad to say about anybody. And unfortunately, let's face it, I said a lot of nasty things about people that I wish I could take back, except for Canadian Carrion Eater. I mean, I'd even, say that I said a lot of shit about Scott Gareby in the past. I wish I could take it back. I mean, he's still, a mark, but he's not the worst thing out there. So, yeah. So just trying to be positive, which I'm still failing at. I'm still more negative than positive, and I wish I wasn't, but it's a nonstop experiment, and I'm trying to share that with you guys. Just can I make these videos and maintain the character of the OGGM and try and be more positive? I'd say I've fallen short, but I'm better than I was, and I hope to be better next time. All right, so these are the individuals who inspired me. There's another one. Got to shout out Zach, and I hit it with my axe, who was the first live play I ever saw. Zach isn't on YouTube, and it's Zach, so there's a mixed bag there. But in regards to, again, the my Mount Rushmore of the 4 people who inspired me, Aaron to be more positive, Hank to just do this and do the work. Now the next 2 are not, they're not gamers. They're just fellow geeks, but in a different category. And it was their videos and their enthusiasm that 10 years ago, after Matt Bromund said, you should do this, these were the first ones I was watching. These were already YouTubers that I was watching who just were like, God, I wish I could be this guy. All right, so Justin Scarred, Random Land, 310K subscribers, 1.5 videos. I've been watching this guy, I think, for as long as he's been posting, from going from just visiting Disneyland and then traveling Route 66 and to going all these weird places and growing this channel to what it is today. And his love for roadside attraction. He's the reason, him and the other person I'm about to mention are definitely reasons why I started doing this. The quest for positivity, that's Justin Scarred. The cadence that I try and project as the OGGM, the whimsy, that's Justin Scarred. I'm a little bit more sarcastic than he is and a little bit more angry than he is, but still, yeah, I would not be doing this without watching Justin Scarred's videos and just, hey, you can talk about this geeky stuff. You can educate people about this geeky stuff. You can still be a geek and show your love for these things. And for Justin, it was Disneyland. It was roadside attractions. Fresno, Nevada is partially inspired by Justin going to, Virginia City in Nevada and Eureka, Nevada, and these other small towns in Nevada, and talking about them. And that's sort of where the bubbling pot of creation that led to the birth of Fresno, Nevada during that fateful evening when I said the wrong thing and it stuck. Yeah, Tamper J, I know him. I like him, but he's definitely not. And finally, on my Mount Rushmore of why I started doing this, the inspirations. Unfortunately, this is a mixed one, because this individual isn't with us anymore, and that is heartbreaking. And that's Adam the Woo. It was Adam the Woo's Route 66 videos, and Adam the Woo just didn't, education, the calmness, the positivity, the ability to tell you about these places, the ability to show you these small little corners of the world, to go on these adventures so you didn't have to, as it said in the song, from his very first videos of riding down the infamous BMX bike down the slide. He was a Southern California boy like me. He was a punk rock guy like I was. He just traveled around and saw things, and I was like, God, when I grow up, I want to be you, Adam the Woo. In fact, when he mentioned that he was coming down to California to do Route 5, I was like, dude, hit me up. If you're doing the Pacific Coast Highway, I'm here in the 805. I'll take you out to lunch and I'll show you the 4 or 5 things of interest here in Ventura, and the places where they shot There Will Be Blood, and the places that There Will Be Blood is based upon, because that movie's based upon the oil shit that happened here in Ventura. Sadly, as you know, Adam the Woo passed away 6 days ago. It is believed the reason why he passed away was deep lake thrombosis, which is something you can get from sitting down for a long period of time in airplanes. where the oxygen builds up and builds these clots if you sit there and you don't move. And then, as we know, Adam has just spent a lot of time on airplanes traveling back and forth. He keeps saying he was going to take a break, but he didn't break. He was always out there, always making videos, a video a day, every day for 7 years. So yeah, unfortunately, he died peacefully in his sleep a couple days ago. So this is a sad one, because he was definitely, he's younger than me. He was 51. He just pursued his dream with such passion and didn't care if he succeeded or failed. He just wanted to show the world, just wanted to show you these hidden places of the world, of America. He reignited my love for Route 66. I'd been a fan of Huell Hauser, and then somewhere in my lost years, I lost track of that, of just wanting to see, to go, to see, to experience. That's, life. So yeah, that's my Mount Rushmore. Yeah, nobody. Yeah, it's very sad that the world has lost him, because that's one less person to inspire me, and that's one less person out there spreading positivity. And the whole thing behind this Saturday Shoutout 100 was positivity. Is there a small YouTuber I can make bigger, like Jeff Gainsbox? Is there somebody out there that I can maybe become friends with, game with, talk with, share product with? And selfishly, as always, I've been totally open about this. I'm hoping that by doing this, these people subscribe to me, and we can grow together. And I just want to create this community of people who just want to play again, and just remember that this is a silly little game, because there are people out there who have way more subs than I do, who do this every week, but they do it to hurt people. They do it to spread negativity. The Canadian carrion eater is one. There's another one whose name I won't mention. There's another guy who's got way more subs than I have, and he's built his whole thing on just hate, because hate sells. Because hate gets a reaction, and what I do doesn't get a reaction. If you just try and spread your message, it doesn't work. But if you try and spread your message negativity, that's what people want, hate. So that's why these guys have 7, 8, 10, who do the same thing I do, some of which started after me, and followed me and copied me. There's even one who blatantly copies, farms my product almost on a daily basis, but then twists it. Not mentioning any names. And he's already doubled me in subs simply by stealing my shit thunder and then turning it into negativity. And I try. I don't always succeed, but it's the goal. It's my goal to be more like Iron Mouse, to be more like Justin Scarred, to be more like Adam the Woo, to be more positive, to spread more role-playing joy, to remember that this is a silly game about goblins with sticks, guys. It's just stupid that we argue, but hate sells. I know just one guy who's blatantly admitted that the reason why he does what he does is because hate sells, and he's gotten 99% of his subs because he spreads negativity, and he even admitted that. So yeah. Wow, thanks for all these posts, Death's Angel Shadow 1722. Give this guy a subscribe. There's other people who have posted and said things about my videos, but they don't have channels. There's a guy called Aaron the Relentless who posts on almost every one of my videos, and has since I started. So thanks to him. Shellendor, other guys. There's people who, gave me my first start, like Legion of Myth, but, Legion of Myth went through a really large period of just spewing out things I didn't want to associate with. Same with the Red Room, same with Grim Jim. So I just had to cut it down to my top, my Mount Rushmore. Now, Mount Rushmore is Justin Scard over at Randomland, Hank over at Runehammer, Aaron the Pendentic, jokingly, because he's been doing this as long as I have, and he was always positive from the very beginning, while I started out negative and went towards positivity. And may he rest in peace. And the Daily Woo, Adam the Woo, and of course, our queen, our Oshi, the reason why I'm here, Iron Mouse. Thanks, Mouse. Thank you, Justin Scard. Thank you, Hank over at Runehammer. Thank you, Aaron the Pendentic. I haven't heard from you in a while. Hopefully live and well. Thank you, Adam the Woo. And of course, once again, thank you to our number one employee, Jeff Gamesbox, who has been sending me these links. So please, if you get nothing else out of this video, and just think I'm wasting your time and being a stupid, sappy, whatever, give Jeff's Gamesbox a subscribe. So, moving on for 2026, the first Saturday of the new year, what are my plans for the next 100? The same. Maybe I'll finally start learning how to edit these together instead of this hopscotch way I do it, reaching out to more and more people, starting to reach out to other channels. Blue Sky has some gamers on there that aren't on YouTube. Rumble has people out there who are doing gaming that aren't on YouTube. I think there's another one called Threads. So I'm sure there's people out there who are doing what I'm doing, who need a little help, who, haven't fallen to the dark side yet. So if I can just get you one sub, counting myself, I've done my job. And, if you decide to sub to in return, it's greatly appreciated. But yeah, but basically, if I have a YouTube VTubing goal, other than maybe playing more games with other people, whether that be through Twitch or whatever, I don't think the VTubing ever is going to work for me because I can't afford to buy games. So yeah, maybe just tighten up my production a little better, edit a little better, and just try and be a better person, I guess. I don't know. And maybe if I can inspire one other person to be better, I don't know. I feel like I'm just being a sap right now, but yeah, spread some positivity on Saturdays. Get in your pajamas, get your bowl of cereal. Join us every Saturday around 8 a.m. for 5 new VTubers or YouTubers. Our pink-haired protagonist Tag will be with us because, she's the mascot. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to me yet, please take a subscribe. Check out all my merch on drive-thru, still marked down to the end of the year for pay what you want. Live fast, die old. I don't know. Run fast, laugh hard, be kind. Just be kind. It's a silly game about goblins with sticks. Thank you for putting up with me for 100 of these. Here's to the next 100. Have a great Saturday. I will talk to you later. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Mouse. Thank you, Runehammer. Thank you, Aaron Pendentic. And rest in peace, Adam the Woo.
Electric beats, bust the streets, endless streets, midnight beats, living heat, heartbeat bleed, polyphonic needs, cyber beats, rhythm sweet, Saturday schemes, beat retreats, makes us complete. Blazing trails, no fails, neon veils, waves of gales, color tales, joy sails, endless rails, like the veil, Saturday sail, we hail breaking jails. Break the town, riot loud, crowd unbound, techno sound, pulses pound, dream astound, youth unbound, joy profound.